operating system, it has a feature set. A feature set is a set of abilities inherently inside the system, and it supports them immediately with little to no work. Now, most of you have only seen Android as a phone or a tablet, so you're thinking of this feature set as one, as an amalgamated form of features. What I'm trying to do here is to show you that you can itemize these features, and you can use subsets of these to create fabulous products. Products that could be fun, could be funny, could make you millionaires, could do absolutely anything. But you have to look at them in a new way. Let's start with a very easy feature that most of you take for granted, a display. A lot of you have phones. How many of you have Android phones or tablets? Okay, since I obviously know that most of you know each other, how many do you people in this room think that the guy next to him have the same size screen on their phone or tablet? There's one guy, two guys. That's exactly what I'm saying. Android supports multiple screen sizes, multiple screen resolutions, and it does so dynamically, which means you can pull exactly at each and every time, see exactly how much display is offered to you. Now, an extension of that was brought to us by the x86 project. The x86, for those of you who don't know, was a project of geeks such as myself who tried to port the Android to the x86 system. x86 is every PC or computer you've ever used. Your tablets and your phones run on ARM chips. This means that when they moved to computers, they had a problem because most computers did not have a screen. So they created a port of hooking up HDMI, and the result is that we have on Android in these days, and iOS be open source, we have an ability through HDMI to port your screens outside to a television set or a computer monitor, which means that you have a lot more choice. Now touch, there are two forms of touch. There's the single touch, which is the pin and the swipe, and there's the multi-touch, which is the zoom pinch motion you do when you want to zoom in on a map, which Apple calls copyright infringement. But it is absolutely free and inside Android, and you can use it if you need to. Peripherals are all devices you can hook to your device, input devices such as keyboard, keypads, touch pads, stylus pens, mouse, and what else is there, I don't know. And it connects to several protocols. All of them are available through Android very easily. Now, the one thing that most people don't know is that Android has an inquiry system that allows you to see what devices are hooked to you and what they can do. From everything, do I have keys, do I have touch, do I have vibration for specific applications, obviously. Geolocation, most of you say, of course I have a GPS, but you don't have to have a GPS. If you have Wi-Fi on a device, you can have geolocation on Android. On Linux embedded, that's not possible. If you have a Wi-Fi, you have a Wi-Fi, it's not geolocation. On Android, if you have a telephony device, you can have cell tower geolocation. Android gives you this completely free. Cameras, of course, you know there are cameras, but what you possibly don't know, and the good people at Polaroid and Samsung and Ericsson did know, is that you have in Android continuous focus, zero shutter lag exposure, stabilized zoom, face detection, and single motion panorama. Single motion panorama was introduced in iOS 6. It's a big, good thing. It's on Android phones since 2.3.6, which is 2 years ago. So you have it for free, by the way. If I haven't said free enough in this lecture, you'll hear free from me a lot because it's free. Connectivity, if you have a connectivity device, you can obviously call the phone and text message, but you can also have geolocation using cell towers, and you have the ability to use 3G or 4G mobile networking, which means you have internet anywhere, wherever you want. That seems a bit trivial, but to do this on a Linux embedded device or Windows, I can't remember the name, there's an embedded Windows something, you have to build your own driver from scratch, which is not very good. Bluetooth supports right up front, no need to explain about Bluetooth, right, it's in everything. Wi-Fi, again, nothing to explain, but what you do need to know is that you have a DNS-based multicast service, which means that you can see what's on your Wi-Fi network, see what it's capable of doing, and connect to it immediately. Things such as mobile devices, printers, cameras, and media player. Oh, one thing I forgot about the Bluetooth, it supports the health band Bluetooth. Has anyone here ever heard that phrase? Health band Bluetooth? It's the ultimate form of Bluetooth that is so good and it's so reliable that they use it in hospitals for devices. So Android devices can control some health machinery, some medicinal machinery, because it uses the highest level of Bluetooth format. Direct Wi-Fi is almost the same as Wi-Fi with one key difference. You do not have to be logged into a Wi-Fi to use it. Any device that supports it can see other devices that are capable of doing it without them being connected to any Wi-Fi, and more practically, if they're connected to different Wi-Fi networks. This is, if you ever try to debug an Android device on an IP, and the device was on a Wi-Fi or the 3G, and your computer is on Ethernet, you could not debug them before Wi-Fi Direct. Now it's very easy to do so. That is what Wi-Fi Direct means. NFC near-field communication only works on stationary RFID tags or devices which are capable of using NFC. It is very, very good for transactions you want to get done which are very secure, such as payments. Payments are done in the NFC way, or you can also transfer personal data and anything else with NFC. Also comes free with Android. USB, if there's someone in this room that I have to explain what USB is, you're in the wrong room. Memory storage as well. Android has very good tools for you to inquiry, splice, index, and search your files, which is very important if you want to have a premium experience. Video capabilities, obviously you've probably seen videos on your phone or tablets, but what you don't know is that as a developer, you can control the low media codec access. You can control streaming multimedia at low level. You can control dynamic, low level DRM. How many people in this room know what DRM means? Okay, that's very good, but still most of you don't. DRM is a system that allows people who pay for content to view it, and only them. This seems a bit trivial as a consumer, maybe even annoying because you don't want to pay for content if you can see it for free. But if you're manufacturing a product, especially a content-based product, DRM is extremely important to you. You get it for free, again, from Android. You also get pre-processing OpenGL-ES effect and multi-surfacing, which means you can do picture-in-picture. The same thing goes with audio. You have low-level codec streaming, you have recall triggering multi-channel audio, and pre-processing effect. Now all these sets of skills, which you have seen separately maybe for the first time, that means almost nothing to you. You say, okay, I compiled them together and it's a phone. Well done. You've done nothing. But I'm going to show you some examples of people who did see the subset of this feature to create a very good product. The first product is in a company that I'm working in, so it's going to sound like a pitch because it possibly is a pitch, but it also is in the area of what I'm trying to talk about. The company was founded by 4 veterans of Who Cares. What we're doing is we have built an end-to-end white label cloud TV product. That sentence means absolutely nothing. What we actually do is we created an Android-based television that uses Wi-Fi or Ethernet in order to connect you to a server library so you can watch VOD movies. It has DVB-T integration so you can see DVB-T, which is live air television. And we have several services which rely on the internet connectivity. You have USB and USB host to connect either a peripheral or a discount key in order to play your own home media. You have input peripheral IR, which are the remote control, and you can obviously use the audio and video since it's a television set. Now, our product was built on an older product, a simpler product. Now, the reason I brought this example is to show you you don't have to start anything from scratch. Even if you're building something from Android, you can also build on a cheaper, older version of it. Now, there's a concept known as Android TV, which is a synonym for cheap Chinese companies building something that looks like Android and possibly uses Android, and it has various experience. Now, there are 2 versions. One of it is good. I compiled Android on my AOSP and I put it on a cube, on an STB, and you can use the Android application. That's fine. It's not very good. There are some companies who have made a launcher that makes it more graphic in order to use your Android STB as a TV set. Still not very, very good, but very cheap. These are very good low-end streamers, which we took in VidMine and brought them to the next level to build a premium product. But they're still very good. For $40, $50 you can have an SDV box, and that's very cheap. Now they use almost exactly the same, the only difference is in the software implementation, but again, most of them have Wi-Fi, all of them have Wi-Fi, some of them have Ethernet, most of them have USB, some of them have USB host, HDMI out, obviously because it's a television product. Some of them have IR or RF remote controls, but it's essentially the same. Next company I'm going to talk about is called Yulu. Now again, our recipe, let's read that. Wrap up billions of passengers in a mix of spicy, entertaining content, fresh, informative content, and chunks of ads covered with a secret sauce. Bon appetit. Means nothing, right? These companies, marketing staffs, very good at saying nothing. What they actually did is a geolocation-capable public transportation information system. A sentence usually means nothing, so I'll describe the scene for you. You're driving in a bus. You want to see where you're going. You want to see where your stations are. You want to see when you're gonna get there. Well, you can see it on a screen because they used Wi-Fi and geolocation and HDMI out to make it visible on the screens what are the next stations and when you're going to get there. You can see on the map exactly where you are. To make it entertaining, they show you YouTube clips. They sell music. They see all kinds of things on the screen, including information on where you're passing through. Now, to make money, they sell advertisements, which are geolocation-based, which means a kilometer before Starbucks, plug them in. I have no connection with Starbucks, so I can do it. You'll see a commercial saying, next stop, Starbucks, very good, great coffee. I have no idea, we don't have Starbucks in Israel. Next stop, you go down the bus, take a picture of the QR code I'm showing on the screen, and you get a free cookie. I have no idea. But because you say, I want coffee, I'm getting a free donut. It's on the next stop. Look, it's right here, and it was on the screen. It's so cute. I'm going to go down and buy a coffee. That might work. It's currently working in Portugal and Spain very, very well. But the point is that it is a very good test case of what you can do when you take a subset of features and just pour it into a new package with a new idea. So again, they're using 3G and 4G because you need internet everywhere. Most buses don't have internet, especially in Spain. HDMI out for the television screen, audio and video, obviously, and GPS, because you need to know where you are. Anybody here doesn't know who Clarion is? It's very good. Clarion is one of the biggest car entertainment system manufacturers in the world. And in 2009, they issued the Clarion Mirage, okay, which is the first OEM-grade car stereo, which means that they're using Android for your car stereo. But it's more than a car stereo because they're using the 3G and 4G and Bluetooth to connect with your phone. So it's kind of a handheld device. It's a hands-free device, sorry. It uses the GPS in order to be also a GPS navigator for your phone. The UI is intuitive because it's the same as your phone, and it also controls little TVs in the back of your seat to entertain your kids so they'll leave you alone when you're driving. Now, they're using touch or sound. They took the TTS format from Android and created a very good voice recognition engine so you can do almost anything without getting your hands off the wheel. Ouya. Ouya is a gaming console, also made surprise by Android. A few guys right here in 2012 put it on Kickstarter and received more than they asked for in the first 2 days. Now why? Because they're saying, we're going to give you a gaming console with all the games you've ever thought of for less than $100. We're giving you HD gaming experience. Well, duh, Android gives it anyway. Yeah, I know duh means different things in Russia, but nonetheless, it's hard to break a habit. It has its own Android game console market, and because of the NDK, is there someone here who doesn't know what NDK means? NDK is Native Development Kit. It allows you to port a code that was written for other languages into Android very easily. So if a gaming company built a very good game for PlayStation or the Microsoft something, all they have to do is put it in the NDK and you have an APK of the same game you can market on Android. Now because it's a gaming console and you don't have to shrink the screen to make it fit to a phone or a tablet, they don't have to do anything. So all the game companies that these people have worked with have promised that their games are going to cost $20 to $30. which is a lot less than what you buy on other consoles. So again, they took a very simple idea, and because of technology, Android technology, made it cheaper and better for you, for the consumers. They're using Wi-Fi and LAN to reach their gaming market. And they're using Bluetooth and USB in order to have peripherals. They're using, obviously, audio, video, and the HDMI out. Android cameras, again, took the same product. The intuitive UI, do you know what intuitive means? A lot of people saying, this UI is intuitive. Intuitive usually means, by studies that were conducted, is that people already know that UI, so they know how to use it. Which is good in Android, because if you already have your phone and your car stereo and your gaming console, which is Android, if you go to the camera, you don't have to learn how to use it. You already know how to use it. So all they did is take out the telephony application, put in a better lens and a zooming mechanism, and voila, you have a camera. Without needing to develop an operating system that will be intuitive, because it already is, because someone is already been using it. This is exactly what I wrote here. The difference is that they put more weight on the zooming and the camera features, which, if you remember earlier, they already have that shutter lag, zoom speed, the zoom stabilizing, face recognition, all for free, all for them. Someone else already did the job. They're using Wi-Fi or 3G, 4G in order to allow you to publish it directly to Facebook or VKontakte or whatever, because you don't want to move the information to your phone or computer to do so. And they're using geolocation so you can pinpoint where the picture was. Now this is the final example. I gave it because I think it's funny. An Android fridge is not something you'd expect, but I also think that this is a great point on how you do not make a good product where you can. The good fellows at Samsung created a brilliant refrigerator which uses Android. Now you're saying, why? And they put notes and notification and say, okay, that's pretty usable. I can say, we're out of milk, please buy milk. They have internet access, so maybe I can see online recipes. They put Facebook and Twitter. I have no idea why. but that is a very good point, because with a little more thinking, the good people at Samsung could have had a great product. Now I thought of cameras. If someone here can name what I thought of for cameras, I don't know, I'll buy him a beer later on, really. Because I thought, what if they added cameras? You have two features I thought of with cameras. It would actually make sense to put an Android on your fridge. The first thing is, if you have a snapshot of your fridge, you're going into the supermarket, you're saying, do I have milk, do I don't have milk, if you have a snapshot of your fridge at any given time, that's good, it's something I can use, and that's something that Android supports right away. If you have a camera, you can scan the products that you're finished with QR codes or barcodes, so they'll be on your shopping list right away without you having to do anything. These are two brilliant applications that Android could have been very beneficiary, but instead they put Twitter. I don't know why. Okay, and what they're using we already told me. Okay, now that I've told you what Android is, what the features is that you can use, I gave examples of people who broke the field for you and broke through and made great product with it, and some slightly weird products. Let's talk about the benefits. Why should I use Android embedded instead of anything else? Well, the first thing, diversity and flexibility of developers. You are the developers. This first, I give this lecture in for a lot of companies considering going into Android. And you are the first reason why this platform is the best. Because I really think you should give applause for yourself, really. Because of you people, Android is not very old. iOS and Symbian were there before. Because of the developers, because of smart, elegant people such as yourself, this is probably the biggest and most